Yes. Hey guys, I am here with my nephew Kyrie, and oh man, we're in a very special time right now because Kyrie just recently published a book on Amazon. Yes. What's the name of the book?
The Art of Never Giving Up. The earlier you start, the better off you will be. Right here. You see it?
That's awesome.
Official book.
That's awesome. Such a blessing. So Kyrie, tell us, what inspired this book?
That's a good question. So basically, what inspired this book is that I'm all about self-motivation, because sometimes people look at others for motivation, but I'm always about, like, motivating yourself, because people could be in your ear all day. You need to do this, you need to do that, but till you ready to do something, you're not going to do it. So I was always taught, if you want to do something, you got to pull yourself up by your bootstrap and just keep it pushing. So that's why I named the book The Art of Never Giving Up. So you can never give up, no matter what adversity you are faced with. You have to keep going. You have to stay motivated, and most importantly, you have to be disciplined. But most importantly, the key thing, you have to believe in God. Whatever faith you subscribe to, God is the key ingredient to everything.
That's awesome.
For sure.
That's powerful. So it sounds like you wrote this book that's centered around giving people the ingredients on how to never give up and how to, like, persevere and how to keep going. Wow.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about. Never giving up. And I actually put some of my life story in there so you can see the trials I overcame and the tribulations I had to go through to get where I'm at now. Because, of course, I'm still a work in progress. But the thing is, you can learn something from the things I wrote in my book.
That's powerful.
For sure.
So how long did it take you to write this book?
That's a good question. To be honest, it didn't really take that long. I want to say like 2-3 months, because, like, once I'm in that mode, or I should say once I'm in my bag, like when I'm just writing and I'm just in that mode to just write books or just whatever I'm doing, I just don't stop until I'm finished. Because, this is my uncle. He'll tell you, like, once I want to do something, I'm just going to get it done ASAP, because I'm on to the next thing. And it may not be all the way edited the right way, but I just like to get stuff done, because I don't like to have things lingering on my head. So this book only took about 2-3 months. Didn't take long. Didn't take long.
So talk to us about the process in which you went through to write the book. 'Cause, I know, like, sometimes some people, what they'll start with an outline. Sometimes some people will start with, like, the table of contents, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be their outline, and then they go into each chapter. So what was your process like?
Okay, cool. So if you have an iPhone, Android, whatever type of phone you have, but I prefer the iPhone, the best phone out there. So shout out to iPhone. But it's a note section in your phone. Everybody writes different. You can write on a MacBook or computer, whatever. But I prefer my notes in my phone, because I'm always on my phone. We are always on our phone. And so I just sat outside, because that's all about the scenery too. The scenery, the day, whatever it is, however you write. And I would just write, like free writing. I wouldn't worry about the correct words, the grammar, because I know what I'm trying to say. And I just start writing. Every day I spend like an hour writing, or it depends. I spend 2 hours, 3 hours. Anything in my mind, like I said, once I'm in my mode, in my bag, I just keep on writing until I got something done. And that's what happened.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. And that's interesting how you even got it down to a science where you kind of understood the right environment to be in that would give you the most inspiration and everything, right? So it's outside, being outside in nature, like really
outside in the parking lot. That's what really sparked it. And, that's what, like, everybody's environment is different. Maybe you can write in your room, wherever you can go to, just start writing. Like I tell people, how you write? Just start. Don't try to make it perfect. Just start. Just start simple.
So what inspired you to even think about becoming an author even,
This is crazy. When I was in the 2nd grade, and what's so crazy, I can't remember my 2nd grade teacher. I actually wrote like a movie script, and it was all type of stuff in the movie script. I won't go into detail about what was in the movie script, because it was stuff I shouldn't have been talking about in the 2nd grade. And it's like I've always been a writer. Like I wanted to be a rapper, and it's just always something that stuck out to me, or just something that's always been in me, I should say. In fact, I remember one time my uncle, my great uncle, my grandma's brother on my mom's side, I was in the bathroom and I was writing raps. I used to be real shy and nervous, and I was just writing on like a toilet tissue, and I was writing, and I left it in there, one thinking, then he found it. I was like, oh man. So I just always been a writer, and just want to share one more story too. Shout out to Ms. Blackman, my music teacher. I just reconnected with her yesterday, actually. I went to go see her, and she had her leg amputated, but she was like, Kyrie, I want to tell you something. She was like, I always knew you had it in you, because I was considered a bad kid, and they would send me to her class all the time, because she would correct me, she would straighten me out, and she was like, the only reason why I used to always be hard on you, because I saw myself in you. She's a Trinidadian, from Trinidad and Tobago, and so I just want to say shout out to her, and she was like, I'm just so proud of you writing a book and all the things you're doing, so it's always been in me, I should say.
Yeah, oh, that's great. That's great to be able to, really express the passion and the gifts that you have inside,
Absolutely.
Wow, that's great. That's excellent. So tell me this, because I know you talk a lot about generational wealth, right? And legacy and everything, right? And so, how do you view generational wealth, and why are you so passionate about generational wealth?
That's a great question. But I just want to say shout out to my uncle Clay Smile, because if it wasn't for him, a lot of things I wouldn't know. And it's a difference between him telling me, but also taking heed, because you can have an uncle or a family member like Mr. Clay Smile Lance, and you're not listening, but I'm actually listening and doing what he's telling me to do. Because T.K. Kirkland said some powerful stuff. He said, if you look at Michael Jackson, you look at Beyonce, you look at all the greats in the world, they were told what to do their whole life, and now they so successful. And if you out here on a fly, just doing what you want to do, yeah, some people get lucky, but it's like if you're told what to do, like that discipline, that structure from the beginning of time, you will be extremely successful. So I'm big on generational wealth, through my uncle, because life, like my grandfather told me, it's the best quote, man, something he always told me, we only here to visit. A lot of people pass away with no will, no things. You see people go for me, and I told myself, I don't want to go through that, And so that's why I'm so big on generational wealth. So if I check out of here today or tomorrow, my family will know what they want to get. There's no discrepancies, and hopefully the next person that's in my family, they can take it beyond what I did, whether it's my kids, my niece, or my nephew.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And wow, it's like you're building up so many different blueprints on becoming successful.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not only just with the investing, but also writing the books,
Absolutely.
right? And also with the health and fitness, right?
Everything.
Also with the spirituality, praying and being grateful, and you know what I'm saying. So all these practices, and it's like this wealth of of legacy that you're building. So that's great. That's great. And so speaking on books, do you feel as though everyone should think about writing a book?
Heck yeah, man. And that's see, remember I made the point, I was like, people say, I don't know where to start. You got to start, because everybody has a story to their life. Everybody can write a book. Even if you're accomplished or not accomplished, you can write a quote book. You can write a children's book. You can do pretty much anything. I just think people don't know where to start at. But like I said, go on your phone, go on your computer, just start writing. And I'm telling you, you will come up with something. Stop trying to be perfect. Just go out there and write, and I'm telling you, you're going to come up with something great. Trust me. It don't have to be a long book. You can write booklets. That's what I did. So, it's simple. It's not hard as you think. Just get it to start.
I've noticed that you have a very strong mindset, Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't. It seems like when you go through challenges, you don't allow things to really get to you. You know what I'm saying? And and there's been different just issues here and there, and it's like you always are able to look at the positive perspective and see the bright side, and even encourage others. You know what I'm saying? You've been very instrumental in the mental health of so many other people too. You know what I'm saying? Helping them and everything. And so, question for you is that what advice would you give people regarding how to build a strong mindset?
Good, man. That's a great question. Number one, talk to God. You got to have a relationship with God that's out this world. And I'm so fortunate to have the family I have, to have the surroundings I grew up in, just people just loving me, just encouraging me, motivating me, So it's like God is the main thing, because you can have family and friends, everybody talking to you, but like I said, it may go on one way out the other, because you're not going to be ready to move till you're ready to do something. Because I can give you all the advice in the world, but that self-motivation that you give yourself is what take you to the next level. But like I say, the only thing is God. You got to talk to God morning, noon, and night, every day. Talk to God, because that's what He's there for, And I just want people to, strengthen their relationship with God. And I'm telling you, you're going to be fine. For sure.
Powerful.
For sure.
Powerful. And you know, with the HGP and everything, the investing and the Roth IRAs, and then the emergency funds, and you know what I'm saying, and the credit score, and all that kind of stuff, the credit cards and all that, and being very responsible, the managing the finances, and the business, the entrepreneurship, and all that. So it's like, wow, you have a lot that you teach and everything. So tell us this is what are some financial tips that you would give to young people? Because you know, a lot of young people right now, they're faced with a lot, like the cost of living is so high, and you know, research studies have shown that the cost of living has gone up much faster than the average salaries have gone up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in today's world, it's hard to, you know, cope with the cost of living. Also, student loan debt and everything is crazy, all that, right? So what advice would you give to people, especially people that are struggling with their finances?
Good question. Another good question. Some good questions. So I want to say this. Number one, when you're 16, 17, and everybody's family dynamic is different. So I do take that into consideration. But I really, you know, you got to get a job. That's number one. Get a job. And you can work it everywhere. Because if you look at it now, a lot of people don't want to work anymore. Like I was just talking to an older guy at my job. He was saying a lot of people don't want to work. Because I guess they want to start at the top. But you have to work your way there. Go get a job at McDonald's. Yeah, they might not be paying you well, but it's a start. You get a job, right? Then once you get that job, better job will come, opportunities come. And then once them opportunities come, you got to invest in a Roth IRA. As Lance was saying, Roth IRA, you know, mutual funds. You got to do that. And you don't got to invest millions of dollars. You can invest $50 a month. You know, low as $50 a month. And I'm telling you, by the time you hit retirement age, you will be a millionaire, tax-free money. That's what I encourage. That's number one. And number two is, you know, you got that job, like I said, opportunity to come, you get a better job, right? You may go to school, you may go get a trade. You know, IT is on the rise, you know. So if you young, you don't even have to go to school for it. You could take classes and get certified. You'll be making a job $100K a year. Of course, it's not easy. Everything that takes time, everything that's great is going to take time. So you have to understand, nothing comes easy in life. You have to put the work in. Like I say, the art of never giving up. That's why the book is called that, right? And so you can do that. And once you do that, start a business. What do you like to do? What is something you good at? Like, okay, because I think in life, Uncle Lance, this is what I had to realize. A lot of us, we get lost in the dreamy kids that we were. Because life situations come, so we get lost in the things, the dreams, and the goals we had when we were young. You know, I want to be this, I want to be that, and then life happens, and you forget about that stuff. So you gotta keep dreaming, and you gotta believe in yourself to the utmost. So start a business. Once you start your business, you still got your job, right? And I'm just speaking because this is what I'm doing at the moment, and I'm pretty young, and so I want you to do that. I want you to keep your job, keep your business till your business start booming, and you know it's secure. Then you can leave your job behind, right? Leave your job behind. Become a full-time entrepreneur. Become a private money lender. It's all steps. It's not easy, y'all. I'm not gonna tell y'all it's easy, but discipline is number one. Save your money. Don't be going out here buying things you know you can't afford because you want to keep up with the Joneses. And we don't even know the Joneses, you know. I don't even know who came up with that quote. So I encourage everybody to save and invest. Don't just save because that's a scarcity mindset. Save and invest. Real estate and a Roth IRA. I don't really know too much about Bitcoin and all this other stuff, so I'm not even going to get into that topic. I don't know too much about it. But I say real estate and the stock market. They say don't reinvent the wheel, so those are never going away. You can always need a home, and people going to always be in the stock and whatever. So, like I said, it's simple, but it does take discipline and it does take time. So, yeah.
You know, it's awesome because, you know, the three most powerful tools for building wealth are the three main things that you mentioned. You mentioned entrepreneurship, you mentioned the stock market, and you mentioned real estate, you know, and you're deeply involved in all three things. What would be like some goals that you have in terms of each thing? So let's start with entrepreneurship, right? What are some goals you have regarding entrepreneurship?
Cool. So I want my business to take off extremely, like just go up, and I want to provide jobs for many people, like because I know, you know, me doing that, I'm gonna help out a lot of people. So I just want to make sure my company is successful, that I can just provide jobs. I'm providing a little bit of jobs, but I just want to provide more because all these people, God, I need a job, I need to work. So that's my main goal, to provide jobs for people where I don't really have to go out there in the field, because at this point, my business is fairly new. So I'm in the field a lot and doing a lot of things, but I want to make sure I get a strong team where I don't have to be around and they just making sure all the work is done, and I just come in just in case anything happens, because that's business. So I want to make sure I can provide a lot of jobs for people. That's my main goal with my business.
That's excellent. And then now for regarding the stock market, right? What are some of your goals regarding your stock market investing?
Stock market investing. Of course, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You know, I want to be a millionaire, and I'm going to be one. So I want to make sure I can teach this. Like I'm speaking on Roth, like getting a Roth IRA. I want to teach this to like my younger cousins, my younger siblings, younger people. Period. Because a lot of people don't know about these things. Another thing is people are not patient. You have to be patient. You have to learn patience, and I'm telling you, you will win in the end. Don't worry about what they're doing. You may see people with nice cars and your age range. Don't worry about it. Your time will come. Just stay patient and keep working. So that's my goal with the investing. I want to, Roth IRA. I want to make sure I can teach people and also articulate myself and teaching people the right thing to do. Because I'm not a financial expert, but I know it does work. For what people were saying, especially when I got an uncle like Mr. Smile. He's type A. He's type A, man. Like I told, like I want to go another direction real quick. I just want to say, we on camera. I want to give my Uncle Lance's flowers right now. I always been like a father to all of us. You young, you can't understand Lance's mindset, but as you get older, you really understand it. So I just want to take my hat off to my uncle, Mr. Clay Smile. It's a blessing to have an uncle like him, man. And I wish everybody had an uncle like him, but unfortunately, or even a family, unfortunately, things don't happen. But and some people do, but some people just don't listen.
Oh man, that really warms my heart, Kyrie.
Sure.
That really touches my heart.
Sure.
Oh man,
for sure.
That's awesome.
And,
and I was thinking too, as a little bit of a plug, our HGP, a group, we have that Roth IRA scholarship that we're doing, right? So what, for 20 people, 20 people are going to be given $50 each. To open up a Roth IRA, so 20 young people, and I think we set the age range between 16 and 32. 16 and 32, So
So you heard that. You guys heard that, right? You guys heard that, and like I was saying, it's about being patient. Like anything that happens fast won't last. So you have to always remember that. Don't think anything that's going to come overnight is going to be gone overnight. Because a lot of people get success young. Like shout out to Coach Greg Adams. He's another great mentor. I never met him, but he helps me out a lot. Like just through my days. And he was saying, it's good to get rich when you're like 35 because when you're young, you're going to mess so many things up. So it's always good to work for it instead of taking shortcuts. You got to work for everything, man. It's like a business. Like a lot of people give up because they want instant gratification. They want instantaneous success. But it takes time, a lot of trial and error, a lot of learning. And you just got to just put the work in. That's my main thing. The art of never giving up. Never give up. I don't care how hard it get. I don't care the difficult things in life. I don't care what it's looking like. Just keep moving forward. Keep going.
Yes. So we talked about your goals regarding entrepreneurship, your goals regarding the stock market investing, and now the third thing, your goals regarding real estate.
I love this one, man. I love this one. Like what I want to have, I want to at least have, man, I want to have doors all around the world. That's my main goal. Like my main goal in 5-10 years, I want to move like to Dominican Republic. Of course, I won't like stay there permanently, but I would just live there 3 months out the year. So come back and forth 3 months out the year, stay there. Because as you in America, I was talking to one of my friends, and she was saying like, Kyrie, I don't want to retire. I know her forever. Like since we went to elementary, and she's Dominican. She was saying, I want to move over there so my money could go a long way compared to living here. We might not even have retirement and none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that's why my goals in 5 to 10 years to be a full-time entrepreneur. And so that's my goal, to have many properties around. And when I check out of here, my family, or whoever it is, my kids, or whether my niece, my nephew, whoever it is, right? I want to teach them how to do it because, like I said, it's going to be a lot of stipulations in mind. You're not just going to have something. You got to work for everything. You got to work for everything. So that's my goal.
That's great how organized you are. And today you are notarizing your trust fund, right? And so talk to us about the trust fund. Like why did you decide to build a trust fund?
Shout out to my uncle again, Mr. Clay Smile, and all the great people that's in the HEP network. I encourage you all to join our network, man. You only got to do real estate. There's so much other things we do, like people you can just connect with, and they're willing to help you, like us, whoever it is. Talk about everything, relationships, finances, whatever. So I encourage you all to join the HEP network, and you can find us on Facebook. So that's the huge market that we on Facebook. But what really made me want to do this, like when my grandma died, my grandma she meant so much to me, my grandma Nancy. And so when she died, she had to go for me. We really couldn't afford the funeral. And I went into my stash and I took all the money I had to fund the funeral, to help fund the funeral. And so I told myself from that day, 2016, I think 2017 when she passed away, I told myself I would never do that again. I would never go through that. I would never go through those things, those hard times, that turmoil. So I said, from there, I'm going to take my life serious, and that's what I decided to do. So when I go, my family going to know what's what, who's going to get this, and, just make everything clear and simple. That's why I'm so big on getting your life done now. Like my grandfather said, we only here to visit. We don't have forever and a day. And people think you got to wait till you're 45, 50, 60 to establish a trust. No, you making some money or you got things, you got goals, get it done now. Whatever you have, you can put it in there.
That really touches me, man, because I was thinking about that story. I never heard that, I wasn't aware of that, and that's wow, that's very touching, because it's also another example of how you've taken an adversity and turned it into an advantage. You've taken something that was sad and depressing, and you found a way to let it motivate you to do something positive so that others can avoid being in that same situation, Wow.
And I want to make a comment about that. That's a story I probably would never spoke on. Of course, my family members, we know about it because we's all in it. But that was a hard thing. My grandmother did so much for everybody, but when she left, she didn't have anything. So I told myself I won't go through that. And my grandma always told me, like, look after your cousins. And that's something I'm gonna do. Might not give them money now, but they're gonna have to work because I'm working hard, and I want them to understand. Like, you look at my trust, you might not like it, but you gotta work in order to receive the things I have. I work too hard now. So,
So in your trust fund, what are some of those things that you put into place, which kind of like, I guess you kind of like, it's like the hurdles that your family members have to kind of jump over to be able to, receive it, which is very smart, right? Because that's awesome. And then talk to about, like, why did you set those hurdles in place too?
I like that question. That's a good question. So basically, you won't be able to obtain, like, my raw fire, the money from my books, what else, the real estate, what else, just all my stuff. Like, basically, without obtaining a job for 3 to 5 years, you have to have some type of, if you don't go to school, but you have to have some type of, certificate, whether it's an IT certificate, job corps, HVAC, plumbing, whatever it is, you have to do something in order to maintain, or in order to take my funds, the stuff I work hard for. You have to have all that stuff. You have to, what else? You have to make sure that you don't have no kids, at a young age. I'm sorry, y'all. I just want to make sure, because a life gonna happen, but I just want to make sure that people are serious about their life, just like I'm serious about mine, But, unfortunately, things happen. But also, just like my books, everything that's like I'm working hard for is stipulations in the sense of you have to, like I said, you have to maintain a job for at least 3 to 5 years just to show you're responsible. What type of job, it doesn't matter, but just show that you're responsible. You maintain that job, because at the end of the day, if I'm just handing you something, you're not going to appreciate it. And compared to me, you have to work for something, And so doing that, just all this, like those stipulations, like, when you look at my trust, if I die today or tomorrow, you will see how everything is just formatted and laid out. So those are the stipulations I have pretty much. Is you have to maintain a job 3 to 5 years. You have to go to school. If you don't go to college, you have to get a certificate. I like IT because that's on the rise and people making money, and also just stuff like that. Stuff like that.
Wow, I'm excited to watch all this, right? Because it's like the legacy that you're building. This is so inspiring, There's a quote that says, legacy is planting seeds in a garden that you'll never get to see the fruit of, like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you're so organized, you're setting up the trust fund and everything, and building the passive streams of income, not just active, but passive streams, right? That will continue to grow and everything. And so it's like, wow, building such a great legacy. And then you're going to put onto that the value system, right? Definitely. The work ethic and everything, and the healthy habits and all that. Wow, so that's great.
And also I want to say, I said having kids, having kids out of wedlock. That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry, I apologize about that. So having kids out of wedlock.
Okay, all right. So, but yeah, if somebody meets their soulmate at a young age and gets married, that's fine. But you just don't want, I got you.
You have money to pay for the wedding and stuff like that.
Yeah, gotcha.
And I know things happen. I know it. I get that. Things happen. But I just want people to be smart because I work too hard for mine.
This is great. So how can people get in contact with you?
First and foremost, you can reach me on Instagram at TheReal2Tet, and that's TheReal TOTAC. And you can reach me on Facebook at Kyrie Clark, KHIRYCLARK. You can reach me on Twitter at The Real Two Tat, the same way. You can reach me on, YouTube. I also have shout out to my brother Marathon Manny. We have a podcast called The Real Podcast, and it's growing, man. It's growing. And it started a year ago. Two brothers from the same neighborhood grew up together. We put our minds together, and we called it The Real Podcast. So check us out on there. And so all social media platforms you can find me.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you, Kyrie, for this amazing interview, man. I feel inspired, man. So this is good, man. So as we end, I'll let you have the final words, man.
Like I told y'all, go get the book. The Art of Never Giving Up on Amazon right now. And like I told y'all, my favorite quote, the earlier you start, the better you will be. I don't care what environment, I don't care how your life is growing up, you can always turn around, because all it takes is one person in the family to create generational wealth. It just takes one. If you have that mindset, you got to move to a different city, different town, that's what you're going to have to do. Like I always say, if you're young and you start off early, your life will be so much easier. So from like 14 to like 30, 35, you put that work in. Then from like 35 to the rest of your years, it'll be an easy coast. Or should I say 20s and 30s, you put that work in, 40 to 70s, 80s, because we're going to live a long time. If God says it, it'll be a coast for you. So listen, put the work in, never give up. The earlier you start, the better off you will be. Always remember that. Remember I told y'all that. The real.
Awesome. Love it. Hey, man, but you know what? We should have a perfect way to end in a prayer. Right, and you pray so well. All right.
I just want to say, dear Father God, thank you for just allowing us to get through this interview. Thank you for Uncle Lance answering me some great questions. Thank you for the family we have. Thank you for HGP. And God, no matter how much success we obtain, always keep us humble, grateful, and prayerful, because we know all things come from you, God. And don't ever let us have no cocky mindset. Even though sometimes we get super excited, God, because it's like, whoa, sometimes you can't believe it. Like, wow, I accomplished this, I did that. But thank you to all, the people before us that sacrificed, like Grandpa James, Big Grandma, Grandpa, Big Grandpa, Grandpa Bob, everybody, my Grandma Nancy, everybody. Thank you, God, for all the blessings we have. We are nothing without you, God. We need you every second, every hour, every minute, every month, every year. And always keep us close to you, God, because we know all things come from you. Thanks to Uncle Lance, thanks to Uncle Marlon, thanks to Brittany Jordana, my mom, all my siblings, God. I'm forever in debt to you, God. All praise go to you. Thank you for this lovely interview. This is amazing. Thank you, God, for everything.
Amen. Woo! Powerful.